Hello, and welcome to the UpToDate Mobile Workshop. My name is Charlotte Beyer. I'm the Instruction Reference Librarian at the Boxer Library, and today I'm going to show you some tips and tricks for using the mobile version of UpToDate. If you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so first of all, what is UpToDate Mobile? UpToDate Mobile is the app version of the clinical point of care tool UpToDate. The advantage of using this app is that it is made for a mobile device like a phone or tablet, so it's really nice and easy to read. Another advantage is that you only have to sign in periodically with the app, as opposed to every time you access, like in the regular library resources. So it makes it a little more seamless. This is why it's a little easier to use in the clinical rotations than the web version, so I usually suggest students at least downloading the app and trying it out when they're on clinical rotations. Okay, so just a little disclaimer, when should I use UpToDate? So when you should use UpToDate is you're looking for quick information to use at the bedside. Think of UpToDate as like an online medical encyclopedia, okay? Now just remember that UpToDate are summaries of research and not the primary research itself, okay? So it's kind of like a book report of all the research that's been done in that area. Now, physicians usually create the summaries, and they do review the summaries on occasion, but make sure when you're working with your faculty or preceptors, make sure what they want you to use. Some preceptors are really fine with using UpToDate, and some would like you to look at original research. So just make sure which ones they want. When not to use UpToDate. If you're looking for an article for Journal Club, or if you're doing a literature search to find research, with those uses, make sure you use PubMed, Ovid, Medline, CINAHL, etc. And because those are going to be made to find research versus UpToDate is made to find quick information on the go. So that's kind of the division of that. They're going to be the databases like PubMed and Ovid, Medline, CINAHL are going to be much more robust in terms of finding research to answer a question. So especially when you're looking for things like to answer PICO questions, you're going to want to use the databases versus UpToDate, which is more just kind of quick point of care information. If you're looking for detailed drug information, use Micromedics instead. It also has an app. It's on our website as well. But UpToDate gives you basic drug information, but if you're really looking for detailed drug information, use Micromedics, okay? Okay, so how do we get to the app? To get to the app, you first need to enter UpToDate through the library homepage. Next, you need to make a personal account. And you're going to do so by clicking in register and under login register. And once you have registered, you will receive directions on how to download the app. So I'm going to show you where to go right now. So here we are at the library homepage, which is rosalindfranklin.edu/library. So to get to UpToDate on the library homepage, all you're going to do is look to the right side of the page for the related links section. And then we're going to scroll down and then click on the UpToDate link. Okay, so here we are at the UpToDate homepage. Now, before you get to this point, you may be prompted to enter your HelixNet login username and password. Okay, so here we are at the UpToDate homepage. Before you get to this point, you may be prompted to enter in your HelixNet username and password. If you have issues with your password, contact the IT help desk at 847-578-8800, and they'll help you get it reset. Okay, so here is our homepage. So now all we're going to do if we want to register for a personal account to get access to the app is we are going to click on the register link, which is in the upper right hand of the corner. It's next to the login link. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're just going to create an account. Now you're going to notice you're going to make a username and password. This does not have to be the same as your HelixNet username and password. Some students do create the same account information just to make it easier, but you don't have to. So once you have filled out this form, you're going to click Submit Registration, and after you click Submit Registration, you'll be registered, and then you should receive directions on how to access the app. So another common question students have is, how do I keep access to the app? Well, every few months, the publisher requires you to re-sign into your personal account on the UpToDate via the library homepage. You can do this from your mobile device. You just have to access the internet to get to the library homepage. This verifies you are still a current student of RFUMS. Now, the reason they do this is that Rosalind Franklin, University of Medicine and Science, provides current students, faculty, and staff with access to UpToDate through a subscription. So one question students often have is, how do I keep access to the app? So every few months, the publisher requires you to re-sign into your personal account in UpToDate via the library homepage. You can do this from your mobile device. You just have to access the internet to get to the library homepage. This verifies you still are a current student RVMS. So Rosalind Franklin University of Medicine and Science provides current students, faculty, and staff with access to UpToDate through a subscription that we purchase. So UpToDate just wants to make sure you're still a current student and therefore have access to our resources. Okay, so that's why you need to re-verify. So what's going to happen is usually you will get an email, and in the email it says you need to re-verify your access to UpToDate. All that means is that you're just going to have to go to the library homepage and sign in the appropriate place, which I'm going to show you how to do now. Okay, so here we are at UpToDate. And all you have to do is, instead of the register link, you just click on the login link, which is in the upper right hand corner of the screen. And you can see that username and password you created during your registration, that's what you're going to log into here. And once you enter the information to log in, usually a few minutes after you do this process, then you can UpToDate. UpToDate will, you can sign in and you'll be fine again for another time period. So that is how you do that. So don't worry, you don't lose access. If you get that email, it just means you just have to re-sign in. Okay. All right, so now that we have the access information out of the way, we're going to talk about the actual app. So how this is going to work is I am going to talk about the app, and there'll be screenshots that I took from my phone that shows you what the app looks like. Now, my phone is an Android, so iPhone is going to look slightly different, so just be aware of that. Some of the changes I know from iPhone to Android I'll mention in this presentation as well. Okay, so the basics of the app. The main parts of the app you can see is the search box, calculators, bookmarks and history, what's new, basically recently added content, and practice changing updates. So this is your home screen. This is what you're going to come to when you open your app every time. Okay, so we're going to start with searching. So searching obviously is the most popular feature used in the app. So when you first click on the search box, the topics you have looked at recently will appear. Now the first time you use the app, you're not going to see anything below the search box. But once you start searching, you're going to see your frequently or recently accessed items. If you want to review one of those topics again, just click on it. If not, then just type in your topic in the search box and hit enter. Always remember that the little UpToDate icon in the upper right hand corner of your screen is going to lead you back to the app homepage. Okay, so just remember that. Okay, so we looked up depression. This is what I looked up in my screenshot. So you can see the results of your search can be filtered in 4 ways. You can do all, which is basically all of the topics that are related to what you ever searched. There's adult, which means it'll limit to the topics that are about adults. Pediatric, which again limits to topics that are just pediatric. And patient, and that's patient education material. So materials that are more geared to our patient audience. This is really useful because especially if you're doing topics that are going to be slightly different for adult and pediatric, that's when I find this useful to limit. So things like depression, there can be pediatric depression versus adult depression. So just be aware of those little filters. So to review any topic, just click on it. Okay, so I clicked on screening for depression in adults when I did a search. So in the app, you're always going to be led to the outline before the actual content. Now, this is one of the reasons I think the app is actually easier to use in the web version, is because you get an outline that you can actually click on sections and jump to sections. So you don't have to read the whole thing. You can actually just read pieces of it, which is really nice if you're on the go. Remember that the summary and recommendations link at the very top will lead to a summary of the whole topic. So instead of having to read the whole topic from top to bottom, and some of these topics can be quite lengthy, you can read the summary and recommendations and get the basics of the topic. So some people, what they do is look at the summary and recommendations, and then if they want to find a little more, then they'll go through the topic itself. So that's very useful. Okay. So the next thing we're going to talk about is once you click on a section. So I clicked on the definition section for the screening and depression in adults, and you can see this is how it's laid out. Now you're going to notice in UpToDate, it's not going to have images, graphs, or tables right in the actual text. It's going to be mostly a textual resource, and then those those references, images, tables, or related topics will all be hyperlinked. Okay, so there's a lot of hyperlinks. So basically UpToDate is a lot of text and hyperlinks. And once you learn how to use them, it's very easy, but you just have to know that's what you're going in. If you want to click on any of the hyperlinks, then you'll get to those materials, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But this is the basic kind of what it looks like, usually text and some bullets. So again, it's made for easy review as you're on the go. Okay, so tables and images. So when you click on image or table, so I clicked on table 1, it's going to adapt to your screen size for easy reading, which is really nice. Especially in some tables that can be really big and hard to read sometimes on phones. This is really nice that they break it down so it's much simpler to read and review. So references. If you see like these numbers after hyperlinked numbers in there, that means that there's a reference that they used to make that statement. You can actually see the full citation of that reference by clicking on the number. And this brings me to the next point. If you want to connect to PubMed to see like the full abstract or maybe access the article, you can actually click on the PMID number, which is at the bottom when you click on one of those numbers to get to the reference. If you click on the number, it actually will open up a browser. It'll say you want to access this external resource. You say yes. It'll actually take you to PubMed and it'll show you the full abstract usually. Why this is helpful is that say you want to see if you want to see full text for this particular article. One thing you can do, one tip, is you can go to PubMed, copy the article title, and then go to the rosalindfranklin.edu/library, the library website, and then paste that article title in the library search box. And then you can see if we have full text for it. And if we don't have full text, remember you can always access the article through Interlibrary Loan, which is a service where we will request a copy of the article from the library at no cost to you, which is a really nice service. So just remember you can do that as well. Okay. So another thing that you can link to are links to other topics. Now, part of the bread and butter of UpToDate is you can actually kind of leapfrog into different topics. So you can you look at one topic and then you'll see something like C, complicated grief in adults, epidemiology, clinical features assessment and diagnosis. So you actually see that and like, okay, maybe I want to look at that topic. So once you click on the topic, you're going to go to that topic. Okay, so remember you're going to leave the one topic and go to another one. So just be aware of that. But it's really nice because sometimes you'll start reading a topic and then you see another suggested topic and you're like, well, that's really what I want. So you can use that as well. Instead of having multiple apps for medical calculators, UpToDate has a wide variety already embedded in your app. You can locate calculators through the search box or browsing link on the app home screen. Now just remember, UpToDate does not have access to every single medical calculator, so just check to see if it has the one you want. Okay, so you can search for calculators by looking up browsing by A to Z, or you can click on the specialties link and then browse the specialties. If you see a calculator you like, click on it to access it. Okay, so one nice feature in UpToDate is you can actually bookmark materials. So you can bookmark calculators as well as topics. So all you would have to do to bookmark anything in UpToDate is if you're an Android, you're going to see a little star at the top. Click on the star. Once it turns white, then it's been added as a bookmark. In iPhone or Apple, it's going to be an arrow at the bottom of the page. Once you click on the arrow, it's going to say add a bookmark. You say yes, it'll be added as well. So this is really nice because sometimes you use calculators over and over. You can favorite them and bookmark them, and then you can get them easier. So basically, once you do this, you can access the calculator through the bookmarks and history link, which I'm going to talk about next. So the bookmarks and history feature is a way to customize UpToDate for your specific needs. After you bookmark a topic or calculator, go back to the app home screen and you can access those materials through the bookmarks and history link. Okay, so the bookmarks feature can save you time by having your favorite topics and calculators easily accessible. Not only can you scroll to find your saved bookmark, you can search for it in the box at the top. You can collect as many bookmarks as you like. So with history, you ever wonder where you searched last? Like I said, UpToDate's very text heavy and you can go from topic to topic to topic to topic and forget where you started. One way that you can help that is using this history feature. So this is when you click the history button, you're going to see, and it's going to divide based on the day, where you have been. If you click on any of the topics, you can be redirected back to the topic once again. So it's a really nice feature. And if you'd like to clear your history, if there's a little clear link next to the UpToDate logo that you can use at the top of the screen. Okay, so What's New section was designed so users could easily access topics that are recently updated. So again, really nice to keep up, not to ponder the pun, up to date on topics that are important to you. So the first thing you can do is you're going to browse by specialty. So everything is usually divided into specialties with UpToDate. So you can click on one of the specialties. There's over 26 specialties. So click on one of the specialties to see topics within that area. Okay, so I clicked on emergency medicine. So you can see these are the topics within emergency medicine. So some specialties have one new topic, other specialties maybe only have one or two. It really depends. Okay, so it's going to be an outline format. So just click on one of the topics to access it. So you can see that this What's New is a very short summary of a topic. A lot of times they won't reinvent the entire topic, a clinical topic. They're going to do little chunks at a time. So this is a little chunk that they updated. And you can see that at the bottom of usually the summary, there is a link to a longer version of the topic. So it's basically the topic that's been updated. So you can click on it and go to that. Okay. All right, so next, the last little topic in UpToDate is practice changing updates. So practice updates are not only new things, but in things that might be important to your specialty. So what's new is whatever is new and UpToDate. Versus practice changing updates, they may be have a higher importance. So people really like to look at the practice changing updates. Once again, you can see it's divided into specialties, and you can click a specialty to see the materials that are important updates. So once again, it's going to be a summary format, but it's difference in the practice changing updates. They're really going to summarize the update in a bullet and then have a longer summary beneath it. Okay, so at the end of this paragraph, there's going to be a link to longer content as well. So that kind of gives you an idea. So that's basically an overview for the UpToDate app. If you have any questions, you can always email eresources@rosalindfranklin.edu. You can visit us. We're in the Quiet Study area in the library, and our offices are 1.509, 1.510, or my office, which is 1.511. You can call us at 847-578-8808 and ask to speak to the librarian, or you can view our frequently asked questions at rosalindfranklin.libanswers.com. So those are all ways you can contact us. So I want to thank you for watching this presentation.